And I can say one thing, after big races or after a big workout, a lot of people like to go reward themselves with absolutely horrific food options. It's like you see people like they run a marathon and then they go out and get like a cheeseburger or like pizza. And I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, you just did something so wonderful for your health. It's like it's akin to like you won the lottery and then you took all the money and you went to a slot machine and put all the money through the slot machine and pretended like you had a good time. It's like, you got to be kidding me. When you finish a great workout or a great event, a great race, build on those gains. Try to recover as fast as you can. Eat healthy, healthy, healthy foods and like just keep it going. And it's like, it just drives me crazy when I see people eating pizza after a marathon. I just, because after a big marathon, I'll go home and I'll juice or I'll eat like 30 oranges. And like the next day, I'm running to work and I'm feeling fantastic. And then every time I'd run a marathon, I get a little bit faster and I feel a little bit better instead of just rolling back and waking up the next morning with legs that feel like lead because you're giving your body just the crappiest option to try to repair itself.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, like, I think as far as general culture, if you just ask someone what's better after a marathon, 30 oranges or a couple slices of pizza, I think a lot of people have the mentality that you need the protein and you need the calories from pizza, and they're going to think that's not just as a reward, but like that's the better post-workout food. What can you say to just dispel that, I guess?
All I can say is my experience has been the complete opposite. Where do you get your protein? I get my protein from the same place gorillas get their protein, or horses, or cows. I get it from vegetation.
Right.
And you actually, people totally misunderstand what protein is. Protein is the finished end product of amino acids being put together. So when you eat a piece of fish or a piece of chicken, you're eating the finished product of amino acids that were put together by that animal. Now, you can't take that protein, that animal flesh, and just stick it onto your arm or your leg and like you just have their muscle. Your body can't do that. Your body's got to break it down to the amino acids and resynthesize it as your own protein, as your own muscle. So when you eat fruits and vegetables, you're eating amino acids in their cleanest, most absorbable state possible. And that's the way I understand it. I'm eating amino acids without the middleman. I'm not taking full proteins and having to break them down, which takes a lot of energy. Like when you eat meat or any type of animal flesh, it takes so much longer to digest because your body's got to work so hard to create these digestive enzymes to break this food down. Whereas when you get the amino acids in fruits and vegetables, you just absorb them instantly and you can recover so fast. So the whole thing, like, where do you get your protein? I just tell people I don't eat any protein. I eat amino acids.
Uh-huh.
And it's like I've outperformed almost every single person in America in the ultra distance. So it's like if I can run 100 miles faster than almost anybody else in history in the United States, it's like I don't think the whole protein question is really an issue for me. What's so wonderful about fruit is the water, and that's such an enormous thing that people miss out on. Most people are generally dehydrated. They don't go to the bathroom enough, and fruit is eating water. And most people just won't drink water because it's not as attractive as food. And when you eat water in fruit, you end up just getting a lot more water in your circulatory system, which makes you feel and perform so much better. It's forced hydration, which is a huge benefit and key to why I think I did so well eating a fruitarian diet.
Right. And that's something that's missing from some of the raw diets. When you do focus on the nuts and the dehydrated foods, you lose out on that benefit, of course.
Yeah, even a baked potato. If you weigh a potato before on a gram scale before you bake it, and then weigh it afterwards, it weighs a lot less. The water's been taken out of the food. Even things like rice and pasta, these things are dehydrating. They suck the water out of your bloodstream in order to digest them. Because your body can't digest food that isn't at a high water content level. And most people never drink enough because water is kind of boring. And that's what's so great about fruit. High water content fruit, you don't need to supplement anything with fruit. When you eat pasta or oatmeal or potatoes, you need to supplement with water. And water is the key to like health and nutrition, and that's why I love high water content fruits, which are naturally low fat.
You mentioned water. You mentioned water-rich foods, of course. What about electrolytes and the whole hydration electrolyte balance? Are you paying attention to that during a long race?
One thing I could mention that I think is a great tip, and this is if instead of taking the pill, the SCAP pill, you actually let it dissolve in your water bottle, and this way you use your tongue as the indicator to whether you need more electrolytes. Because if you eat something that's salty and it tastes amazing, and you want more of that salty taste, then you definitely need more sodium, more electrolytes in your system. Whereas if you just take a pill, your tongue's not going to be able to give you any feedback. So I think that's something a lot of people could benefit on, is actually tasting the salty food. And if they really like it, then that means they need more of it. Whereas when you have too much salt in your system and you have something salty, it just kind of tastes gross. And you're like, ugh, I don't want it anymore.
To hear the rest of elite ultramarathoner Michael Arnstein's tips for natural nutrition around workouts and races, plus a new interview with a different plant-based fitness expert each month, visit www.nomeatathlete.com/academy.